Hi lovies, today I'm going to share with you yet another delightful recipe well requested by a number of you lovely people out there, and this is my take on aloo roti, or some of you may call it aloo puri. So if you want to see how I put this together, guys, just keep on watching. I'm going to start here now by peeling up these potatoes. I am using 4 medium size ones. You can use how many or how little you want, depends on the size of the tower, depends on the amount you will be making. That is how much potato you will be using, making sure to cut out all these black parts from it. I cut it in half and I already washed it. Add the boiling water and add salt. Allow to boil until it is fork tender. While that is boiling, I'm going to start preparing the other ingredients to flavor up this potato. Nice and fork tender. You see the knife went in there easily. Remove that from the water. Now we're going to mash this up. Don't laugh at my half masher, the top broke, but it is still very useful. Nicely mashed up here now. It's time to add some flavors. And these are all the ingredients that I'm going to use to flavor it up. Celery, parsley, hot pepper, pimento, onion. Of course, we have to get the bandania, piece of carrot, garlic, and some green onion, or some may call it spring onion, some may call it scallion. Now I'm going to grate this carrot on this side of the grater. And here I have the carrots grated. These are all the ingredients that I placed into this mini chopper. So let's put everything together now. And goes the grated carrots. The other ingredients. Oh my god, this smells amazing. And I'm going to add some jeera. And by no means I'm advertising for Chief, but this is the jeera that I use. Mix everything together. See how beautiful it is coming along there. All the different flavors in there, all the different colors in there. Like I always say, you eat with your eyes at first, because if this is not looking appetizing, you would not want to taste it. Everything is well mixed in here now. Set this aside and let's move on to preparing the dough. In here I have 4 cups of flour. In goes 4 teaspoons of baking powder, half stick of butter, tablespoon of brown sugar, and about 1/4 teaspoon salt. I'm going to give everything a good mix here. Allow this butter to be well incorporated with the dry ingredients. Everything is nicely mixed in here now. I'm going to add room temperature water, little at a time. Bring the flour from the outside into the middle here, and you want to get this into a nice softness, not too hard and not too soft, so that it will be very hard to manage when you're filling it. Just going to knead this into medium dough. Remember to clean the sides of your bowl as you go along. Continue to mix this until it is nice and smooth. There you have it. You're going to cover this with a damp paper towel so that there is no unwanted crust at the top here, and allow this to sit for 5 minutes. So off camera, I went ahead and divided these into 8 small loya, or 8 small dough balls, and I will show you closely how I put the filling into these dough balls. Make sure you have some dry flour at hand, because you would need this. And here we go. Dip this into the dry flour. I'm doing this very slowly so you can see what I'm doing very carefully. So we have here the dry flour that helps the filling to move around when you start rolling it. Make this into a little ball like that. Put it in here, stick it down. Use your two thumbs, push it down and bring the outside to the inside. Start here from one end and close it up just like that. Add a little bit of flour so that it would not stick onto the tray that I'm putting it into. All 8 loya or dough balls are filled here now. I'm going to start cooking this because I do not want it to sit for a long time. It will get soft and will not be easily manageable. Here's my dabbler, my rolling pin or my bilna, my oil. Of course you need that dry flour and my bowl here to place it when it's finished cooking. Add some flour onto the surface. Press down. Press so that you can get the filling all the way to the edge. You know, sometimes you buy roti and there's no filling at the ends. So when I show you how to do it like this, you will make sure the entire roti gets that filling to the edges. And you start rolling. You focus more on the outer edges because you do not want any thick roti. I mean, some people may like their roti very thick. When it comes to any kind of roti like Aloo Puri, Aloo Roti or so, I want the ends very thin. You add additional flour as you go along. Make sure it does not stick onto the surface. And you roll this according to the size of the tower that you have. I do have a big tower, hence the reason why my roti is this big. Lightly oil your tower. And you try pressing down the edges so that it will get a little bit thinner. When you start seeing some bubbles coming up there, you see there's bubbles here, there's some here. It's time to turn. Turn. And you want to oil the other side because you do not want any dry roti. You do not want roti choking and you have to rush for that water or anything to send it down. Now look at how it starts swelling up, guys. Look at that. Look at that. The whole roti swell because I fill it properly and I did get all the filling to the ends. I like it a little brown. You can make it how light you want or how brown you want. And there you have it, my aloo roti or aloo puri. If you like this video, please give me that nice big thumbs up. Leave me a comment at the bottom. And if you have not liked and followed my pages yet, it will be well appreciated if you do like and follow me on Shamindi'skitchen. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Until I see you with another delightful recipe.